Hi. Hello, everyone. I am here to talk with you and to talk with someone else, someone very exciting. Um, we're going to have Amy McGrath here to talk to you. Hold on. I think I can.
I lost. Hey, I can't really hear you yet, but it's probably on my end. Yeah, there we go.
Is that better?
Yeah,
I could hear my AirPods talking to me from across the room, so
excellent.
that was not ideal. Here I was about to compliment myself on how quickly. Can you not hear me?
I got you now.
Okay. How are you?
We're doing well. We traveled around the state today here in Kentucky, and it's election eve. We're just trying to inspire people to get out to vote, because it's
Yes,
so important.
it is so important. It's so important nationwide. It's so important in Kentucky. You are waging a battle for the heart of the country. You're in a very you're in a very important race that a lot of people from not only Kentucky but around the country are focused on because you're vying for Mitch McConnell's seat, and and it's an interesting moment in American politics because so much of what we're hearing about is character on the ballot,
Hmm.
and Joe Biden is running a campaign that's really based on the character of the country being on the ballot, and you just need to watch him for a few minutes to know that he really is a person of character and integrity, and that is how he is running his campaign and how he will run his presidency and how he ran how he served as a vice president and as a senator. But I um, compromised character and compromised integrity. I think Mitch McConnell has been he's been just making a deal with the devil, which is something like that my fans, Supernatural fans, are well aware of. It's like all of the characters on the show have made deals with the devil at some point or another, and have always reaped very unpleasant consequences from that. But can you talk a little bit about how character and integrity are coming into play in
Sure.
your race?
Well, I think, look, I'm running against a man who has no principles. He is somebody who is all about his own power, stands for literally nothing other than his own power and partisanship. And I think that that is really bad for our country. And that's, one of the reasons I wanted to take him on. Also because he's bad for Kentucky. We're a state that really needs, especially in coronavirus, we need a lot of help right now. And he has not been focused on Kentucky for a long time. And so, but character and integrity is the heart of leadership. It's what I learned in the United States Marine Corps. It's what I learned at the U.S. Naval Academy as a midshipman. It's what I learned growing up here in Kentucky, that leaders have to have character. It's so important. And I just don't believe that Mitch McConnell is a man. I mean, does anybody think he is a man who would keep his word? I mean, after 4 years ago saying when a Supreme Court nomination came up to say, hey, let the people decide, and then he rams through a nominee 8 days to an election, there's no principle there. And I think that's really hurting our democracy. And then also, the other piece to this is here we are in the middle of a national crisis. This coronavirus, 230,000 Americans dead, 9 million Americans have been infected. Here in Kentucky, the cases are on the rise. And Senator Mitch McConnell is the one man holding up coronavirus aid to our country. And that's also why this race is so important. And we're working very hard here.
Yeah, you are, and it's so important what you're doing because I'm not a Kentucky native, but I've been watching your race closely because so much hangs in the balance. Mitch McConnell is an individual who has a lot of sway that he uses not to advance the interests of the people of Kentucky, but to advance I would say his own interests and the special interests that support him. You know, the big money donors and the corporate interests that support him. Big pharma, for example, I believe Mitch McConnell might be the recipient of more big pharma money than any other senator.
That's right.
Um, so he's serving these other interests, and it's very dangerous for all of America. It's not just dangerous for Kentucky. Um, what is it? What can people do in this 11th hour to support your campaign, to rally the troops, to get people out to vote? I feel like I've been pounding the pavement so much and saying over and over again on my platform, go out and vote, go out and vote. I'm starting to think like I'm probably at this point just pissing people off by saying it one more time. But I'm going to say it one more time. Go out and
No,
vote.
keep
Make sure your
keep
friends
doing
and
it.
family
I
do.
mean, I always try to tell people 2020 is a year that you have to do more than just vote. You love our country, you're a patriot. Don't just vote this year. Do whatever you can to support candidates that you believe in. Get on social media, encourage your friends and family to vote. Have those political conversations with your in-laws before Thanksgiving. You know, you're going to have to do it anyway. Do it now, because this sort of be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think 2020 is a year that we all have to stand up and do more. And so, you know, for those people who are watching, my website's amymcgrath.com. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a volunteer tab there. People can, even tonight they can make phone calls. They can do text banking. You can get on social media and you can retweet things. And you can, you know, call everybody you know in Kentucky and tell them, hey, it's time to vote, and take a look at this race because it is so important for our country. And, you know, I wanted to ask you because you have such a great platform and you decided to use it. You know, you don't have to use it. You know, you're somebody who is a very accomplished actor and you've done so many things. To put yourself out there in the political arena is hard. And you've done that. And I'm wondering why. I'm wondering what are the issues that really are in your heart that make you want to stand up and use your platform and do more than just vote.
You know, it's funny. I think a lot of actors, when they're asked why are you an actor, they say, well, it's really important. You know, storytelling is important because it's how civilizations pass information on from one generation to another. It's how we teach the younger generations about what is good and what is moral and how we can be a unified and grounded country. And I think that's all true. But it's also true that in the real world, in the non-fictional world, we need to do everything we possibly can to advance those causes, or else we're really just paying lip service to them. So I guess I feel like I don't have another option, or I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I don't want to wake up when I'm 60 and have my kids be like, dude, what? Back when Instagram existed, why didn't you use it?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, um, I had one more question for you, which is you're in Kentucky, and Kentucky is traditionally a very Republican state, and you're running as a Democrat, and that's obviously an uphill battle, and it's not easy, and you're running against the Senate Majority Leader, which is also an uphill battle at the outset. Um, but I think it's worth mentioning that you were an independent for much of your political career or much of your life. You
Yeah.
were an independent, and your husband is a lifelong Republican, and uh, and it seems like you're running not so much as a blue candidate, but as somebody who's just standing on the right side of history. How do you sort of address that in Kentucky? And I'm sure this is a question you get all the time.
Well, I look at it as I'm a common sense Democrat. I'm a common sense person. And I'm proud to be a Democrat. I stand for democratic values, affordable and accessible health care for all Americans, investment in education, investment in our future, and that sort of thing. At the same time, though, I'm somebody that believes that my country comes first before my political party. It's how I was as an independent for most of my life in the United States Marine Corps. I tried to see the goods in both parties, and I try to. I believe that getting people into office right now who just want to put people first, put workers first, put families first, put our country first. That's what matters. When you think about, there's a coronavirus bill, an aid package right now that the House, which is controlled by Democrats, passed two bills, and then our current president wants an effective aid package, and he's a Republican. But you have one man in Mitch McConnell that is holding everything up for purely partisan reasons. That, to me, I just think is offensive. The fact that you don't want to negotiate, that you don't want to do what's right. That's the most basic lesson I learned in the Marine Corps, is do the right thing. You know, when your country needs you, when we have a national security crisis that we haven't seen in 100 years, negotiate, figure it out, do your job, put that partisan stuff aside. If you can't put the partisan stuff aside in the middle of a national security crisis, what are you doing being a leader of America? What are you doing? That's not American.
Amen.
That belongs somewhere else. And that's what I think about when I think about Mitch McConnell. I'm trying here at the end of this campaign to get that message out that, hey, you cannot change Washington until you change the people you send there. Namely
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. I heard you say something once on a podcast, which I thought was really resonant, which was, you were talking to someone in rural Kentucky who said, I don't know if I'm not going to vote for Mitch McConnell, but I don't know if I can vote for a Democrat. And you said, how about maybe just think about it as voting for a Marine?
Yep.
And I love that. Like you're through and through an American service person. You have been serving this country for your entire adult life, putting your life on the line at first, and now putting all of your time on the line to serve in politics and across the country. We thank you. And I know the creator of Supernatural, our show, recently said that Sam and Dean, the two brothers who are at the center of the show, would be voting blue in this election cycle. And I think that's true. And they're also both warriors, and they both fight for the forces of good. So Sam and Dean are on your side. I'm on your side. And those of you who are watching, if you want to go to amymcgrath.com, is that right?
That's right.
And see how you can help in this 11th hour. There's still so much you can do. If you can think of any friend that you have or family member who lives in Kentucky and is voting in Kentucky, give them a call and talk their ear off until they agree to vote. And
that's super important.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for
We're
your
working
time.
very hard, and everybody out there, it's for our country. I certainly appreciate everything that you do. Anybody that's watching, we've got to do better, and we can do better. It starts tomorrow. All right. So everybody get out there and vote.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your service.
I appreciate that. You take care.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye now.